You think you're burned out. You tell yourself you're exhausted, overwhelmed, mentally drained. But what if that's not true? What if you're not burned out? You're just distracted. There's a difference. Burnout comes from sustained effort, from intensity, from pushing your limits for too long. But most people today aren't exhausted from effort. They're exhausted from fragmentation. Constant notifications, constant switching, constant stimulation. Your brain isn't tired from deep work. It's tired from shallow noise. Let's be honest. How many hours a day do you spend truly focused? No phone, no switching tabs. And here's the uncomfortable part. You don't feel burned out because you're doing too much. You feel burned out because you're doing too little, badly. Half work, half scrolling, half attention, half commitment. Your mind never fully locks into one task long enough to experience momentum. And without momentum, everything feels heavier. Distraction destroys rhythm. And rhythm is what makes work feel effortless. When you're fully focused, time moves differently. But when you're constantly interrupted, your brain never settles. Every notification resets your cognitive load. Every scroll steals a little more attention. And attention is your most valuable resource. Modern life is built to fracture it. Social media, streaming platforms, news cycles, all competing for your focus. And when your focus is constantly hijacked, you mistake mental clutter for burnout. Let's define burnout properly. Burnout happens when you invest intense energy without recovery, but distraction drains energy without progress. That's the difference. You're tired, but you're not fulfilled. You're busy, but not productive. You're mentally stimulated, but not mentally satisfied. Because your brain craves depth. Humans are wired for immersion, for mastery, for progress you can feel. But distraction keeps you in surface-level engagement. And surface-level engagement never produces real reward. So your brain keeps searching for more stimulation. Scroll, click, switch, repeat. And at the end of the day, you feel empty. There's another uncomfortable truth. Calling it burnout protects your ego. Because burnout sounds like overachievement. But distraction is harder to admit. Because it implies lack of control. It implies, I let everything pull me away. But the solution to burnout and the solution to distraction are completely different. If you're burned out, you need recovery. If you're distracted, you need structure. You don't need a vacation. You need boundaries. You don't need less responsibility. You need fewer inputs. You don't need more rest. You need deeper focus. Let's talk practically. When was the last time you worked for 60 uninterrupted minutes? No phone, no checking messages. Just one problem. Most people can't do it. Not because they're incapable, but because they've trained their brain to expect interruption. You've conditioned yourself to crave novelty, and novelty kills endurance. Focus is like a muscle. If you constantly break sets, it never grows. And stamina is what protects you from real burnout. There's something powerful about finishing what you start, about entering flow, about staying with discomfort long enough for it to become progress. But distraction keeps you escaping discomfort instantly. You feel slight friction, you check your phone, you feel resistance, you open another tab. And over time, your tolerance for effort shrinks. Not because you're weak, but because you're untrained. And that untrained mind interprets effort as exhaustion. So here's the real question. Are you truly burned out? Or have you simply lost the ability to focus? Because if it's distraction, that's good news. It means you're not broken. You're just undisciplined with your attention. And attention can be rebuilt. Start small. 1 hour of deep work per day. Phone in another room. Notifications off. Single task. No negotiation. You will feel uncomfortable, restless, impatient, tempted to check something. That's not burnout. That's withdrawal. Withdrawal from constant stimulation. Push through it. On the other side of distraction is clarity. On the other side of clarity is momentum. And momentum feels energizing. That's the irony. Deep focus doesn't drain you. It strengthens you. Because progress restores energy. Fragmentation destroys it. So before you say you're burned out, audit your distractions. Track how often you switch tasks. Count how many times you check your phone. Measure your true, focused minutes. You might discover something uncomfortable. You're not exhausted from effort. You're exhausted from avoidance. And avoidance is subtle. It hides inside multitasking. It hides inside quick checks. It hides inside constant low-level stimulation. But once you remove it, work becomes lighter. not easier, lighter, because your mind is no longer fighting itself. And avoidance is subtle. It hides inside multitasking. It hides inside quick checks. It hides inside constant low-level stimulation. And protecting your attention is protecting your future. So no, you're not burned out. You're distracted, and distraction is a choice. Growth demands depth. Comfort is the enemy.